Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
Yeah, I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Busy weekend?
It was a very busy weekend.
Yes, but your kids swim well.
Yeah, so for people that weren't where I was in West Virginia all weekend at West Virginia University, and I was there for the Pennsylvania State YMCA swimming championships, and we did very well. And so that's where I was watching the game from late at night. It was a rough morning on Sunday morning, but way less rough because of the win.
I was holding down the fort here, doing some house chores and just kind of stayed back this weekend. And I did not see the game
No,
because
at
I
least
fell
not in real
asleep.
time.
Well, no, I did see the game, but no, funny story. I was watching NCAA wrestling championships and conked out. And you guys all had fun at my expense.
Yes, we did.
So, um, and yeah, that was a very funny story. We could tell that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
anyway, on today's show, we are going to discuss the Union's gritty 3-1 victory in Portland. We're going to talk about a little bit about Cavan Sullivan and his appearance for the U2 yesterday and their victory. Now 2 wins in a row to start off the season, so that's exciting.
Yes, it
And
is.
also talk a little bit about some of the players on international duty, how they're doing, and get your thoughts. And then also wrap up with the Union being back home against uh, Western, top of the Western Conference in Minnesota.
Yeah.
If we didn't, if you would listen to our preseason predictions, I did not have them.
No, but it's also really early.
It is. But before we get started, what are we wearing?
All right. So I am wearing, because I haven't worn this in quite a while, the like dark blue pre-match top, the Artisano Philly or Nothing one from a few years ago. And my new headband from the team store with the Union logo and the kind of splotches of different blue shades on it. So, how about you, Kyle?
I am wearing the Philadelphia Union baseball jersey. I believe that was 2 years ago now, because last year was the black baseball jersey.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is 2022.
Yeah, I know you really like that one.
Really like that one a lot. So decided to throw that one on because I haven't worn it.
And of course, it's the opening of the MLB season. The Phillies they start, well, they're supposed to play on Thursday. We'll see what happens with the weather,
Yeah,
but when did the Giants play?
either Thursday or Friday. I haven't checked yet. So
You don't even know.
I don't. I'm so busy with the Union and enjoying the Timberwolves right now. I'll get to the Giants. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the Giants. I mean, we'll find out what they're going to be made of. But anyway, where can people find us?
Well, you can find us on social media at the One Team We Agree on Facebook and Instagram. We are on Twitter at TOTWAG. We are on YouTube at the One Team We Agree On. And we have our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. Additionally, you can find us on all your major podcasting platforms.
So let's talk about some of the Union players on international duty right now. U23 played France to 2-2 draw today.
Yeah.
And they won against
Guinea. Guinea.
Guinea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But let's talk about that game on Friday because both Jack and Nate started.
yeah, they did. Yeah. And man, what a goal Nate Harriel had. That header.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Lord, was that good?
It was good. And once again, it's like what I ask Jim all the time, about, I mean, would you even say he's probably our most dangerous set piece player we have right now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we get that Harriel Ariel, as it's called. Yeah, I mean, man, that showed like just what a difference he can make on those. And we definitely miss him when he's gone. He's just making more and more case for himself.
He really is. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk about it. I mean, the more we've seen him grow and develop, I mean, honestly, now he's right back. It's his spot to lose at the right.
Exactly.
That's the first thing, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But also, again, you said the set pieces and just the growth and development we've seen already early on this season. I mean, it's been impressive to see, and not just him. Jack also, I feel, has taken that next step. Now, maybe defensively, he's not the level of Leon Flock.
Mhm.
That's fair, but he's gotten to that point where, some of the balls I saw him create both on Friday and even, today, when he came in the second half when they scored those goals. I mean,
Yeah,
he really is doing a great job at creating plays like we always knew he can, but he's taking his game to the next level as well.
yeah, I mean, hey, the US scored once, Jack and Nate were in, just saying. Yeah, but no, seriously, Jack has really developed nicely too, and those 2, I think they can definitely help out the US quite a bit here, I think, going into the Olympics, and when they're not with us, yeah, we definitely miss them, but it's been really neat to see their progression, and I know Jim said recently on presser about Nate's improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave a nice quote about that, basically saying Nate's a good example of, yeah, he didn't start out being this perfect player.
No.
No, and he's really developed and he's really coming into his own, basically, to paraphrase.
It's funny, the first time I saw Nate, play, it was, gosh, I wanna say it was sometime maybe in 21? Feels like maybe a longer, but anyway, 21. We started going. I was sitting at the old lot, standing at the, if you remember the row of Johns there after a game.
Oh, back when we actually had like a lot of porta potties available.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
People that know.
yeah.
Um, and Fred and was right behind me, and somehow we got started talking about Nate Harrell. I was like, he's raw right now, but he's really been impressive. And the thing, and it's always stood with me when I watch this game. Fred says, he's hungry. That's the thing I like about him. The kid's hungry. He gets beaten. He learns. And sure, he's had some games here and there where you still scratch your head, but I mean, when we think of the progression this kid's made, it's nothing but impressive.
Yeah, he just I think, the quote was that Jim said that he works his butt off. I
Exactly.
keep this family friendly. But yes, absolutely, and man, it pays off, so
So pivot to them. Let's talk about Jamaica. Damien and Andre.
yeah, so watching that game against the US anyway,
Mhm.
do you feel a little conflicted?
I mean, I mean,
USA all the way, obviously.
obviously, but you also want to see them perform very well at
Right,
high
you don't wanna
level.
see, like, Andre just get totally shelled.
No,
No.
and I thought they played well. Um,
They did. Damien had a really good game, and
He
eh
did. He still at times, I think, he gets a little reckless, but he had a solid match. That was the
yeah.
kind of game. I feel like some of these international games, he really steps up, and I don't know. It just he fits comfortably with the way Jamaica wants to play.
I think that Damien really fits being in Philly. I think he's really good fit, like just the way he plays. I think he's really endeared himself to the fans
He
with
has
that. I mean, I think that the way he plays in these international competitions is, yeah, obviously it shows when we played in CONCACAF and everything. He adapts well to that.
exactly
Andre, of course, was very good. And I mean, the game oh my gosh, the game tying goal at the death there, basically,
the own goal.
the own goal by none other than former Union player Corey Burke.
Yeah,
That was rough. I mean, I obviously awesome for USA, but oh yeah, also that sucks for Corey Burke.
it really, really does.
Just have a soft spot for Corey,
It does, but
but
those things also
these
happen.
things happen, and
But
then of course
you
USA needs them to
feel
win it. Yeah.
it's kind of things. It's like, oh gosh, wow. You feel for him as a person, but also
Yeah,
it's like, go USA,
exactly.
USA.
It's like, oh, I feel for him there, but
But
also go
I thought
USA.
even I was watching some of the highlights yesterday, from their game. They're they had good run here,
And then they
and
went and beat Panama
yeah.
to get 3rd place, which was the highest
I
finish
mean,
for Jamaica, so good for them.
and I think you
Congrats to
look
them.
at it this way, come 2026 World Cup, Jamaica's got a really good case to make the World Cup. And just think, Andre could be potentially, and Damien could be playing at home in Philly. And I think
Yeah,
that'd be a really cool storyline.
that would be awesome. I would love that.
I would love that as well. So for those two to have that, and then the rest of them called up. I know I think, Hungary plays Kosovo tomorrow. I know Danny wasn't featured, and I know Ty didn't get used.
Yeah, so Ty didn't get
Jesus didn't get used at all. I think he was on the bench this la
Bruvo played though.
Brewer played the first game, he was on the bench. So, again, it goes back to what the Union,
Mhm.
we were short in Portland, and it's like these guys are just riding the bench. Now, having said that, no greater honor than to
Oh,
represent your country.
absolutely.
So I saw some people complain, oh, they could have been used like for good or bad. Jim has said we want these players to represent their country. And
That's
again,
huge for them.
it is huge for them. Even if you are riding the bench, you're not featured.
Still, you were chosen to represent your country.
So congratulations to all of them. And so let's get into the Union versus Portland, shall we?
Oh yes, Union After Dark.
It
Yeah.
was a Union after dark. And meanwhile, and we don't have any video today because we've just been so busy, but there is a picture circulating around there of me snoozing on the couch.
Yeah, so the story about that is so I'm watching the game from my hotel room in Morgantown, West Virginia, and it was actually good timing for me because I wasn't done at the swim meet till like almost 9:30.
Mhm.
So I got back in time for the game, so it kind of worked out that it was late, except I had to be up super early. But anyway, I stayed up, I watched all of it, I did the presser, everything. So anyway, I happened to I have a camera
Mhm.
that I kind of spy on our cats with, and just a little mini camera in the house, like for home security. And I look through there and I see this guy asleep on the couch. I'm like, Kyle. So after the game, though, I'm like, Kyle, wake up. And then I'm like, Kyle, the Union won. And he's like, what?
No, it was weird. Like, so I'm on the phone with my dad, and we're watching NCAA wrestling championships because that's something me and my dad enjoy watching
Yeah.
Penn State wrestling. And so we were watching the finals, and I said to him, I'm gonna just take a little nap, and I set my phone for like 9:30, and I was
Yeah.
gonna catch like the last two matches are gonna go off 9:30, and was gonna lead right into, I believe, it's gonna lead into like 10 o'clock, then the game, and
Yeah.
go from there. So I kind of lay shut my eyes, and next thing I know, I wake up, and you're like, "Oh, Union won." I was like, "What?
Yeah.
No, we didn't win." And then I like saw everything, and yeah,
You
funny
were so
story.
confused.
I was so confused, but funny story. Then yesterday morning, 9:30 in the morning, my alarm went off. So,
Yeah. So now I know what happened there.
yep, silly me, set my alarm wrong. But
Yeah. But hey, you went back and you watched it, and
yeah,
but of course I kind of got you caught up. But yeah, we kind of roasted you a little bit in the group
oh,
chat.
you guys, a couple people roasted me.
It's all good. It's
It
all good.
is all good.
Meanwhile, our cats were sitting there judging you. They're like, "Why aren't you watching the game?" No, but watching that game too, like in my hotel room, it's late, and I'm like, you know, and I was very excited the goals, but I had to like temper my excitement a little bit, obviously because of that. But yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. I had cautious optimism going into it. I mean, we all knew we were going to be missing those players, and what kind of result were we going to get? Like, we're all kind of hoping, okay, maybe if we pull off a draw, that's like a win here.
Right.
That was kind of the mentality, like with missing those players. Now, you have to remember, we also still had, you know, basically the front with Uwan Carranza anyway. We have them, and you've got leadership in Ale Bedoya. You've got,
Do you want
basically the whole
do you wanna hear something
back
crazy?
line. Yeah.
Yeah, you had basically outside of,
It's the midfield and
it we were
goalie, it was really the big switches.
yeah, I mean, if you look back at the MLS Cup, you basically had to start the
It was
2
like the COVID
forwards,
cup. Yeah.
even with, Kai, Jack, Jacob, and Olivier, you had basically that lineup. So, you know, for good or bad, Jim put it together.
Mhm.
And let's talk a little bit about the game because, like you said, I did watch it. Um, First thing I want to say is, there Todd and I talked about this match, and I said, I'll be happy with the point. I mean, I had this game as a loss because of the friendlies and being sure we knew this going into the season. I said, and we were both like, "Yeah, a point is gonna feel like a win." I said, "And if we get 3 points, that's huge for this
Mhm.
team's confidence." And so it worked out, but there is a world that the Union could easily have gone to the half, like, down 3-1.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the, goalpost, was the Union's best friend that first half, and that's not taking anything away from Oliver Semla. He played excellent,
Oh,
I thought,
absolutely.
overall, but what were your thoughts, mostly for the first half?
Well, we definitely got lucky in some cases, absolutely, that there were goal opportunities for Portland that they did not capitalize on, and we
No.
got lucky, but Zemlin did a real fine job in there. I thought we came out pressing, like, we were going for it. Now, did we have much possession of the ball? Oh, no, we did not. But that doesn't hey, that's not what mattered there.
I forget who it was posted stat when Union have, like, 30% possession, and I forget what the stat is, but they're like, and I forget when it goes back to, but some ridiculous stat, they're like 6-0-2 or something.
We're better when we don't possess the
No,
ball.
because that, and that's the whole thing. You want to beat the Union. We've said this a million times. People like Todd, our friend Jose,
Yeah.
others in the community of well said, you want to beat the Union, give them possession. I
Yeah.
mean, that's really the icing on the cake.
Yeah, and, it was I mean, really just the fact that, in the 28th minute, we had the goal from Carranza
Mhm.
and, off the corner from Kai and that header in there. Oh my goodness. Like when that happened, I think probably I'm sure a lot of people felt this way. It's like, oh my God, we just scored first. We didn't concede first, as
Mhm.
we've done a lot. And wow, that just like that first goal, I'm like, holy crap. Here we go. Okay, game on.
And that's 2 games now where we've scored first. So,
Yeah.
okay, we're playing with the lead. Jim's
Yeah.
always says we're best when we play ahead.
Yeah, and important to note too, of course, like early on, like 25th minute, Chara got a yellow card too. So he's playing on a yellow card at that point,
And
which
now, and I
hopefully helps
watched
us out.
that, and that was a little bit of a turning point. I definitely, because he wasn't as aggressive moving
Hmm.
forward. I think the important thing for me was that second goal that happened in the 58th minute.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that because that was
Yeah.
really, we talk about Jeremy Raffinello, all right,
Yeah.
and he, for those that love the U too, shout out to Bridge Brigade. Um, last year he really impressed there, and he got a little bit of time, I think, late in the season,
He
and
had that really like banger of a goal in that one game.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, like we've seen him really send the ball for sure.
But, there again, just puts a nice ball on net from distance and rebound. And the thing I liked about this is Quinn is following up on a shot, ball rebounds right to him, he puts it in.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see from your players, just
Yeah.
rebounding shots like that. And as a winger, former winger, you gotta crash the box.
Yeah.
It's
And
like hockey.
oh yeah. And Rafa and Quinn, they played quite a bit together and you
Mhm.
two. And definitely I think that helped contribute to, playing well together there. But uh yeah, that's what you want to see. And I know Todd Lewis, he did a really good goals breakdown of
Mhm.
all these goals. And shows you really well how like Quinn wasn't even seen basically. He just kind of snuck right up in there.
Yeah,
He wasn't
he
marked
was
at all.
following the play, and
Yeah.
that's what you wanna see. I also wanna go, so from those 2 plays, the set piece and then the rebound goal, you're, like, excited. Then the Union score 3rd goal.
And at that point I'm like
Yeah.
mind blown. I'm like, holy crap.
So from
My
that,
heart was like beating up in my like throat pretty much watching all of that.
and that's a nice cross that Ua plays to Carranza. Carranza runs right on it and finishes it.
Yeah.
And so you're up 3 nothing, and it's like, "Oh, okay." Because the whole thing was we were all talking like Ua and Carranza need to step up in this game at
Yeah.
the limited midfield. Julian did. Mikel has a nice assist. Now,
Yeah. That was set up
let's
real quickly from that
talk
free
about
kick, man.
Mikel.
Ooh.
Let's talk about Mikel
Yeah.
for a second. So I watched this game,
Yeah.
and I have nothing to say about some of those misses. He needs to finish those shots.
Absolutely.
However, what I liked is, again, Union were getting him involved.
Mhm.
And what you see when he gets involved, things happen. Now, again, does not that first I think I texted some of you guys. I was like, that first miss where he had that ball right in front and just kicked it right to what's the guy's name? Patterman. This
Their goalie.
yeah, he was at Montreal last year. Anyway, like, come on, man. You got at least maybe chip it
Yeah, that's what I'm
or
saying, like, hit that thing.
go around, and then
Yeah.
the one in the 72nd minute, he just skies it. It's like we saw the goal in Austin where he was controlled. That time he just rushed it. Now, granted, he had 2 guys on him, but
Mhm,
it's just like those little things where you're just like, I can see why people say what they say. But again, he was active on the night, and I'm not gonna what I really liked there was even when he had those 2 earlier misses, he had another one where he could probably finished a little
mhm,
bit better. He still kept his confidence and made that
mhm.
great pass. So and I think Jim even mentioned that in his, post-game presser a little bit that, maybe they had a couple other goals and
Yeah, because I know it was asked about how the players really celebrated around Mikal with
yeah.
that goal. And yeah, like he needed that, I think. But just a beautiful pass to Julian who buries it. And that came so quickly off that set piece, off that free kick there. And, so that was huge. We need more of that. That was just quick, take it down right there. And
I
so and
yeah.
we had chances, yeah, for other goals. Like we could have been up by even more. Now, did we think that we were going to end up with a clean sheet in this game? Probably not. No.
No, and I think we needed to discuss that.
Yeah.
Um, how worried are you about Jack Elliott?
Ugh. I mean, he definitely hasn't been in form. I love Jack. I do. But he just hasn't been himself, it seems.
Now he's coming back from an injury he had in preseason. I
Yes.
get that. And Jacob had the surgery and,
Right.
missed
Jacob
time.
hasn't been in top form either.
Either. Now I thought he was
I
fine.
thought he was fine too. He had some really good defense in that game.
The thing I've noticed at times now, Jack will have a couple series where when the ball's down where he'll look like himself, but then it's like when he gets put on his back foot, and sometimes it's defensive blown coverage, he'll get lost, and then he's trying to track, and he's just not fast enough.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like at times this year he's just kind of gotten lost. He's lost his man.
Yeah.
But I also need to talk about somebody else.
Yeah.
Well,
Olivier Bizo.
got cooked.
He got cooked.
And there is a world where he's the reason on that header. Now I know Rodriguez, their new signing from where was it, Club America. Um, he made his debut. That was a nice header, but I mean, you got at least and look, striker coming in like that. I I was more disappointed in that header goal. Now we'll give him credit; he made that nice
He
block,
did. He did.
but there was
I've seen
play.
worse from him, but
I
that
have
one
too.
block was really good. Yeah.
But there was a couple plays where he gets switched up on and just get beat because why? He's too far up the pitch, and
Yeah.
then right there's a fast break because he's starting now. There goes Jacob Jack running back and trying to prevent a goal.
How many times have we said, man, Bizo got cooked?
It's becoming a concerning theme.
Do we still have PTSD from 2021 from the COVID game? I hate to bring that up, and amongst other games that I shall not bring up. But
Yeah, I mean it is a concern uh, because then every like fourth or fifth game he'll give you this awesome performance, and
that's the
you're
thing. He's like so up and down. Like when he's playing great, he's great.
but as soon as he gets burnt, he gets in his head, and then he starts backing up
Yeah.
and becoming way too. I don't know. He just loses confidence. As soon as he gets beat, it's game over.
Yeah.
And with Nate leaving for the probably the way he's playing, he's going to the Olympics as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we need Bizo to, really step it up and
I just
and
don't.
work on these
Yeah.
things because yeah, we're gonna need him to fill in there unless we have another answer for that position.
And we don't at the moment.
We really don't. So
So
and yeah.
so we'll wrap a bow up on this game. It's awesome to see Union. That was a gritty, pack your lunch pail kind of the Union we're used to seeing where, yeah, maybe it's not pretty. What's the old GM said, they're not that great, but yet they kick the crap out of you. We were creating chances,
Mhm.
um, and we played very gritty performance.
Yeah.
And so you take that away and say, maybe things are fine. I mean, again, it's what, only 7 games really into this, 8 games into
Mhm.
8 games into the season. We'll find out these next two. I mean, with
Yeah.
Nashville and Minnesota, but all
Yeah.
right.
Let's keep that momentum going.
I think that's a big thing. Now you're getting all your players back. You go, with shortened roster, and so it's a good boost. So
Yeah.
you feel happy about that. Sure,
Absolutely.
you leave points on the board, but it could have been worse on the same time. And Providence Park is not the easiest place to play at.
For us to score 3 goals in that game, I mean, that
That's
was
impressive.
definitely beyond my expectations, and definitely that game was worth staying up late, and then, I slept for the presser, and speaking of the presser, man, we got an all-time Jim comment. I
Do you
mean,
want to?
yeah, talking about the possession and the lack thereof from us, which was characteristic, he said, "Possession without penetration is useless,"
I mean,
basically.
he's not wrong, but
No,
I mean,
but
but that's like a t-shirt. That really is a t-shirt.
that's an all-time,
That's
yes,
an
Union
all-time
After
quote.
Dark quote there,
Yeah.
and, yeah, I can hear the snickering by people with that one, but no, but it's true though, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you possess the ball if you don't turn it if you don't actually break through and score on that. When we had the ball, we we took advantage of some of our chances. Obviously, we got 3 goals out of it, and it took Portland till the 80th minute to get their one and only goal. But they had so many chances and they possessed the ball so much, but again, they kind of blew it every time. So, but man, I tell you what, if we can keep up that kind of scrappy performance that we had, that's what we need. That the players showed so much heart, so
Yeah.
much tenacity. It was fun to watch from them.
And that's the thing with
I
this team.
miss that.
Well, and that's the thing with the team. Outside of that Pachuca game, which
Let's just never talk about that game
well,
again.
but we do because it is a reference point.
Oh, I know. I know.
Um, Outside of Pachuca, this team's shown fighting heart,
They
so
have.
they're going to be fine. And we'll see how the season goes. But I think as long as we're creating chances, and we're playing at this level, you know, we'll see. We've got to see some like I can trust Rafa at certain situations
Rafa had
now
a tremendous game, I
for
thought.
what he was used
Yeah.
for. I mean,
Marcus Anderson, I thought he did a good job.
he did a good job, and this is a kid
He's
again,
been
very
doing great.
raw.
Mhm.
He's developing. Give him some time.
Yeah. And Jim said in his post-game presser that this was sort of an audition for some of these players to see what we have too.
Some
And they pretty much passed the test. I mean, we had such a thin bench. Will Matt Real ever
well
see
that and
the
okay,
game?
I'm glad you brought that up. That
Yeah.
was one of the topics. What does it say about Matt Real?
The fact that he didn't get in there, but we've been having other players in there, or we've done different formations and not gone to Matt Real. I mean, do we really not trust him at all in this? Like, what, or like I said, it was he not 100% anything we don't know there because
And that
he
was
didn't
not
even,
ass.
yeah, because he didn't even travel. Well, he wasn't even on the bench in the last game, I think. So
No, no, he was on
I
this
thought
one.
I know he was in
Yeah,
this one,
yeah,
but I'm
but
saying the one before,
I don't
Austin.
know. I don't know if
I feel
there's
like he
something
wasn't
else
there.
going on behind the scenes.
I
It's
mean,
something to keep an eye on because look, in small doses, he's fine. He
yeah,
scored a goal, I think, last year or the year before.
yeah,
He's when we're scraping the barrel, sure, you can try to go to him a little bit, but I just feel that there's something else there. It's the same with like the Barbo situation. Like,
yeah, yeah. Tiebreaker, like, what is,
what's going on with
yeah,
Barbo?
yeah, what is going on for Rebo? So,
Yeah.
um, I don't
It's
know,
it's those two things. And Jim's always gonna say, well, it's competition, you gotta earn your minutes. And I appreciate that as a coach.
but I also want to see what he can do. Okay,
Correct.
give him a chance, especially in these upcoming games when he'll be back. I mean, get him in the last like 5 minutes at least or something. Get him
Or
in.
last year where you got in for like a second and it says
Literally, it was
you
like 10 seconds.
no, it wasn't even that. They were like called him by as soon as they like
He
regained
ran on and then like, yeah, it
the
was
game.
basically done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Yeah, I just wanna see what he can do.
Yeah. And
And
hopefully I still think we'll probably see him. But hey, congratulations to Jim, Julian, and Oliver for
yeah,
making team of the match day. That's
huge.
awesome to see, especially for Oliver.
Yeah, I'm
And
so happy for
so,
him.
last thing, I know I said we were going to tie Bill on this. Do you feel that Joe Bendick would have only given up one goal?
No. No, and actually, it's funny because last year, you and I were both in Morgantown for the state meet, and we watched the game on my laptop in the hotel room, okay? And we were watching that, and gosh, like, Bendick was in goal, and it was that game against Orlando at home. We obviously didn't attend that one because we were away, and we're just like, "Oh god," and we got scored on, it's just like, "Here we go," and that was just awful, and, so it was good to have a much better memory from watching the game
Yeah.
while I was away this time. Yeah, no, 100%, like, we probably lose that game. No offense to Joe Bendick, thank you for, what you did for our team filling in and stuff, and good team, good, locker room presence and everything from what I've heard,
Mhm.
and everything, like, great person. But, yeah, I think Zemla just he has, better reaction time and, he still makes some mistakes and,
He does.
there's he's gotten burned he almost got burned on a
Yeah.
rebound,
Yeah, he
when he
did.
knocked out, and he has gotten burned in the past on that a little bit, but he's getting better and better each game, I think.
I think he's getting some confidence playing in the
Yeah.
MLS. My whole take on Oliver is he's a good backup. He's gonna have some games where, and I saw some comments, people were like, maybe it's time to move off Blake. No, it's not
No.
time to move off Andre. Maybe down the road, maybe in a couple years,
I
but
get
go.
it, Andre's not getting any younger,
Yeah, I
but
know, but we're years. That's years
the
down the
goalies
road.
can last a little longer
I
too.
mean, let's enjoy Andre for
Yes.
what he brings to his team. There's going to be times, especially this summer, where Oliver's going to look like $1 million goalie, and then there will be times where you're going to be reminded, oh, he's a backup.
Mhm.
So take that in stride,
Let's hope that he does really well every time, but,
but also understand that this kid's improving, and the more reps he gets, the better he's going to get. And I think and I saw some people bringing it up. How long does he stay? Because if he keeps playing at a high
Mhm,
level, some other teams, maybe in MLS or
mhm.
international, are gonna start knocking, going, "Hey, what's with this kid?" So that's a good situation for the union to be in as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate, what he's done, and I was really glad to see him get team of the match day. I mean, that's huge for him. I mean, our backup goalie getting team of the match day,
That is
awesome,
awesome to see.
awesome, and man, our Germans had a very good game there. I thought Kai was tremendous in the game as
He
well.
he did have a good game. I mean, overall,
Yeah,
good win, gritty win, and now we move on to Minnesota.
yeah, a day game. Woo!
But before we talk about
Yes.
that, let's take a couple moments here to talk about Union too, because
Yeah,
we like to cover them as well.
yeah,
They played New England too, and they won.
yeah.
So 2 wins in a row. Congratulations
Little
to Marlin
revenge.
and the rest of the players on that. And also, they did that without David Vasquez and Neil Pierre.
Yeah, they were also
Obviously,
depleted.
McConaughey was up with the first team. So was
Sanders,
yeah,
yeah,
Gabo. He was up. So and no Rick. Rick was up as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So there you're without some of your best pieces there. And
We had the
again,
U17s.
and we had Gritty 2-1 come
Yeah,
from behind win.
gritty has been the word.
Yeah, now granted they New England gifted an own goal. But
Yeah.
I think the big story that's making his rounds
Oh, yes, let's hit on
is
it.
Cavan Sullivan made his debut. And the reason I say not professional is because he's still technically an amateur.
Yeah, people, let's remember, he's 14.
Yeah. And let's enjoy
Yeah,
the time if he's playing with you two, because we all hear the Manchester City rumblings, unless you're living under a stump. You're seeing all the rumblings, all the people talking about that there's apparently a deal in place, and we don't know what that looks like yet, so we won't
yeah,
speculate. But hey, came in, and what I saw when I watched him come in looked exactly like as advertised when I watched him within the academy. Looked confident, looked like he knew what he's doing. and had a beautiful assist to Sal, who also had good.
Yes, that was
That was a
his
beautiful
first
goal.
goal in MLS Next Pro.
It was, and we watched him last week against Toronto, and he missed some goals he'd like back. I've been really impressed with Sal. I
Yeah.
think this Union two team. I'm not sitting here saying they're going to win the MLS Next Pro, but they look like a good team.
Yeah, and
And
they've
it's
been
not
fun.
and it's not the guys that are like, oh, they didn't play, so we're just going to send them down. So like Dono's not going to come down and play.
Right. No, these
These are like actual academy kids, kids that they're bringing in. Now, Grant, you have
like Kyle Tucker,
yeah, you have some of those
they're a
guys, and
little
then you
older.
have a
Yeah.
lot, and then you have some guys that are on first team contracts like McCanya,
Yeah.
but they're learning their craft there.
Right. So they can actually get some playing time, especially.
Exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what happens.
Yeah. I was listening to the game on the way home from West Virginia.
Mhm.
And so, that was a good way to pass the time on that like 4-hour drive. So I thought it looked like a beautiful day for the game. Sounded like the Bridge Brigade and the fans there were doing a good job cheering them
They
on.
were.
And even BR, the tiny SOB cat,
Who
got
got
signed by the Sullivan brothers.
yeah, there you
Love it.
go. I love that as well. And also, shout out to Bridge Brigade. They got some merch now, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. So everyone check that out. And uh we have to get to some more Union 2 games and support the boys there. And but yeah, it was really cool to see Cavan have his debut. And you see what at 14, yeah, he's got some good skills. And it's fun to see maybe what is the beginning of a very, very good career. And that's the thing, he's so young, so you see some guys not pan out, you see some guys
Like
totally
Nate
go on.
Harriel that are late bloomers.
Yeah. Yeah, there are athletes that start out young. Michael Phelps, he was kicking your butt, Kyle.
Yeah, he was
Kyle got his butt kicked by Michael Phelps when Phelps was what, probably like 14,
15.
15. Yeah, I mean, because he was in his first Olympics at like 15.
Yeah, it was his first year.
Yeah, so you see like Bryce Harper was a big deal as a teenager, and obviously he panned out. So these things, it can go either way, but
Again, it's
yeah.
also environment. Let's be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Also, will Man City be the best environment? If that's to where he's going, we don't
Right.
know. But
Yeah.
who knows?
It's
So
funny. I was talking to one of my middle school students, one of my eighth grade boys, and he's like, and he follows uni, follows a few other, teams and all that. And I said, he plays soccer. I'm like, could you imagine going like pro, playing in these games, going pro at like your age? He's like, no. I'm like, I know we were talking about though, because this kid's like 14. I'm like, yeah, can you imagine being in that position that Cavan's in? So I mean, yeah, I work with that age all day long, and so it's for me, it's like wow. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to more good things from Union 2. And it was good to see, it was kind of, revenge. They got knocked out by New England too, from, playoffs last year.
so
So
yeah.
yeah, so that was good.
So I think they're in Chicago this week.
They play on Thursday, I
Yeah,
believe.
so wish them the best of luck. We'll be watching. So
Yeah.
uh before we wrap a bow up on the show, let's talk about this weekend. Hey, we got a day game.
We have a day game. It's like a 2 o'clock game.
2 o'clock game.
Yeah,
So
it's Minnesota, and they're sweet unis, whichever one they're wearing. It
well, that's what I
I
was
mean,
gonna ask you. That's my question. Are you excited to see if they wear the Northern Lights kit? That was
yeah, I mean, I like both the ones that they have. That being said, I hope they lose, but yeah, they're one of my favorite kits for sure. And so
so yeah, I mean, and hey, like I said in my prediction show, I had him chasing wooden spoon with Toronto, and
well,
well,
Toronto's actually doing well too,
yeah, they're giving
but
up
have
the
they
least amount of goals in the league.
played any really tough opponents yet?
Minnesota
No,
has, believe it or
no,
not.
Minnesota I know has, but I'm saying Toronto.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's funny because how some of these are going, like, some of these teams doing well, but
It's always that, first 10 games. We'll see. So this is going to be a good
Minnesota's
challenge.
due for a loss.
Right now they have 2 wins on the road, um, including one in Orlando, which Orlando's not off to a great start. So I don't know how much I read into that. But they have beaten and drawn both Columbus and LAC at their home, including shutting out LAFC. But again, it's early.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We just beat a very good Portland team, depleted of several of our players, and yet we drew against teams that we probably should have beaten, and we were actually more full strength, like Austin, for instance.
You're right.
But so these things, you know, it's early in the season, still figuring things
I
out.
think I think a win would be huge. I mean, obviously, they're gonna have Sinclair, their goalkeeper, they got Pookie, their striker. Yeah, I mean, and, what's his name? Caden Clark, who's, over with the Red Bulls in Europe. And they got some good players, that were, so they're I'm not saying it's gonna be a walk in the park, but I think if the Union play well, obviously, I don't even know for no so he's there. I
Mhm.
don't know if I think he was injured or something. Anyway, or I saw something. I forget what's going on with him. But anyway, I didn't see him in the last match. But I mean, they got some talent.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think if the Union are clicking, they should take care of them.
We need to ride the momentum
We
from the
really, really
Portland game.
do.
I think that should be a huge confidence boost.
It definitely should.
I think that it was it's important for us to tailor our lineup more towards who we're playing against, which is kind of what we did against Portland. I think sometimes we get a little stale there maybe, but
Well, that's the diamond you can
I know
always.
we do what works. So but it'll be interesting to see what we have there.
I
And
do agree with your comment though that, we maybe need to change it up some.
at least sometimes, yeah, I know we like the 4-4-2 diamond and everything, but
We'll see what Jim and them have cooked up for us.
yeah,
But hey, we'll be around. We'll be at the tailgate.
it's an earlier tailgate.
It's a kids
Yeah, it's
then
Kids Day.
it's kids day and they actually have a kids solid day. Sons of Ben are doing a kids tailgate with like cafeteria style food like grilled
Like
cheese.
chicken nuggies and Uncrustables and stuff and different things.
That's cool. So
And
if you're listening and you haven't gone to tailgate this and you have kids, hey, definitely come to this one because it's
get your
gonna be
early
a
bird.
fun.
Yeah, get your early bird tailgate tickets, I think only through Tuesday if you want the cheaper price, which this is coming out on Tuesday. So, yeah, get those.
Get
And
those.
yeah,
And also, my dad's gonna be making an appearance. So if you see us, say hi. My dad will probably be somewhere there. It's his only second game. The last game he was at, the Union won on decision day against Toronto, 4-1.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and looks like as of now, it looks like it's supposed to be good weather actually.
yeah, we'll be out there roaming around the stadium. So if you see us again, say hi. We're gonna have a fun day.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It is. So, and maybe we might have some other surprises coming up,
Yeah,
but we'll
absolutely.
for that game. But we'll keep that in mind because wait till game day to make some announcements.
Oh, and I'm excited to go in the team store because when we were there for the Union 2 game, it looked like they were getting some new merch in and
Yeah,
rearranging
yeah,
some
we were
things.
looking at that.
It was not open, which I say is a missed opportunity. They should at least sell some stuff during the Union 2 games, even if it's like one of those, stands that's, in the concourse, have something open with gear, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should, especially if we continue to kind of grow the fan base of going to Union 2. Think that would be good, but
I know the jerseys are a whole Adidas thing,
yeah, yeah, I was definitely sad to hear that
but
'cause they're
anyway,
pretty nice.
just an update again on St. Baldricks. Wanted to give a quick update. Up to $353 raised. So getting close to starting to chip away. I'm gonna leave some links below. But it's coming up. So if you'd like to donate, any bits helpful.
Yeah,
So
any amount we appreciate for sure, and thank you to those who have donated.
yes, for sure. So that's all for this episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. We love hearing from you, and if you have any ideas for future guests or topics, please send them our way and interact with us on social media as well. We do love interacting with everyone and hearing your thoughts.
And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you at the game.